Let's look at this problem. Mr. Joe places all the integers from 1 to 225 into a 15 by 15 grid. He places 1 in the middle square, 8th row and 8th column, and places other numbers one by one clockwise, as shown in part in the diagram below. What is the sum of the greatest number and the least number that appear in the second row from the top? This problem is more or less like finding patterns, or it is like some logic related problem. It doesn't require a lot of calculations. However, we need to understand the patterns well enough. Alright, let's start from the center and see how the numbers are actually listed. So this is 1. As said, these numbers are going clockwise in this direction. And this is what we want to do. And of course, this diagram is just a partial diagram, and the actual diagram is 15 by 15. Then let's draw a little diagram to demonstrate that. And we will not mark the numbers. Instead, we just trace the line to demonstrate how it works. It should go like this, right? This is the way it goes. And it will go many rounds. And it will go on and on and on like this. Then a crucial question for this problem is where it will end. And that will certainly help our understanding of what the second row looks like. And there are 4 possible places that this trace will end. And it will end either at this corner, so I call this A, or it will end at this corner, B, or it will end at this corner, C, or at this corner, D. And there are many possible ways to determine how it will end. An easier way to determine that is by looking at the original diagram. And we can think about a smaller grid, right? We don't have to worry about 15 by 15. Let's think about 3 by 3. Then we see that the largest number 9 for 3 by 3 grid end at the upper right corner. And for a 5 by 5 grid, the largest number 25 will end at the upper right corner as well. Therefore, we know that in our actual grid, it will eventually end at the corner of A. It will end in here, which means that this number, the last corner, got to be 225. As long as we know this pattern, then we can have a good estimate of how the numbers are listed. Since the numbers are increasing in the direction of our trace, right? The numbers are increasing in this direction. Therefore, we know that for the second row, this is the second row, right? The largest number must be in here. This must be our largest number. And we know that the dimension of the ending square of grid is 15 by 15. Therefore, we know that on top of this pink square, we have 15 numbers larger, and it will go all the way to 225. Therefore, we know that the number in this pink square has to be 225 minus 15, which equals 210. And then we need to determine the smallest number on the second row. And as we can see from the trace, the smallest number in this row must be in the very next square on the right of this pink square. It's in here. So we'll use a green color to represent that. So this number is our smallest number on the second row. The problem is, how do we find out that number? There are a couple of ways to do that. In here, we can do a easy but somehow tedious way. That is to count it back. Since we know that the number in the pink square is 210, in order to go all the way down to the bottom, we need 13 numbers, right? Because there are already 2 on the top. That is this number and this number. So there are 13 numbers here. And then there are another 14 numbers in this direction, right? We have 14 numbers up to here. And then another 13 numbers all the way to the second row. We have 13 numbers in this direction. And up to here, on the very second row, we have 15 minus 1 and the minus 1. 1 is from this number, and the 1 is from this pink number, right? Therefore, this equals to 13. Then we know that the number in this green square must be 210 minus 13 minus 14 minus 13 and minus 13 again. And now let's do the calculation. So this equals 210 minus, we have 3 13ths, so that's minus 39, and then minus 14. And then let's sum up these two numbers first. So this equals 210 minus 53. And this equals 210 minus 10 first. So that's 200. And then 200 minus 43. Therefore, we have 157. Then this number is going to this square, to the green square. Good. So now we've found the smallest number and the largest number. And the question is the sum of the largest and smallest. Then our final answer is this: 210 plus 157, which equals 367. Therefore, our choice is A. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe the channel. If you have questions, please leave a comment.